My name is Daniel Whitmore, and today I'll reveal how I was erased from the very wedding I funded, a day that should have been my proudest, yet became the cruelest lesson of my life. You won't believe how a father can be treated as a stranger at his own daughter's celebration. Stick with me, because this story will leave you questioning loyalty, love, and the meaning of family itself. Before we dive in, take a quick moment to subscribe and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Your support is what keeps me sharing stories that cut this deep. The lot at Rosewood Pavilion was overflowing when I arrived. Luxury cars glistened beneath the aspen grove, guests in polished shoes stepping out with excitement. Adjusting my tie, I tried to calm the storm in my chest. After 4 years of preparation, the day had come. "Daniel?" a voice called. I turned to see Kevin Harper and his wife Melissa, both looking uneasy before forcing smiles. "You actually made it," Melissa said too brightly. "Didn't Lily say you were unwell?" "Unwell?" I chuckled. "It's my daughter's wedding. Nothing could keep me away." Kevin shifted awkwardly, then tried small talk. "Nervous walk down the aisle?" "Terrified," I admitted. "Spent $5,000 just on flowers, and I'm still worried I'll trip in front of everyone." They laughed politely, but something about their glance unsettled me. Near the entrance, Diane Cole, my sister-in-law, stood checking her phone. When our eyes met, her face stiffened before she offered a wave. I ignored the knot forming in my stomach. Maybe nerves made everyone act strangely. Inside, I expected the warmth of belonging. Instead, a guard stopped me. "Sir, invitation please." Confused, I showed him the family group chat on my phone. "I'm Lily's father. I organized all this." His expression didn't soften. "Actual invitation, sir. Those are the rules." Another guard motioned into a table. On it lay a folder. My gaze fell on a printed image sheet. My face, clipped neatly to a list. Underneath in bold letters, "Do not allow entry under any circumstances." The world fell silent. The chatter of guests, the Silvertone Ensemble tuning instruments, the rustle of branches, all dimmed to a single hum. "There's been a mistake," I whispered. But deep down, I knew this was deliberate. The photo was taken at last month's picnic snapshot. Someone had set this up. "Our instructions come from the bride's family," the guard said firmly. I dialed Lily. She answered breathlessly. "Dad, I'm in the middle of something." "Sweetheart, the guards won't let me in. They've got my photo here marked." "Oh, that," she cut in, almost prepared. "What do you mean? Lily, explain." Silence stretched before she spoke. We all agreed. "It's calmer without you here, fewer complications. Please don't make this harder." I froze, the phone heavy in my hand. "I'm your father. I know. But this is my day. I need it to go smoothly. Goodbye, Dad." The line went dead. Around me, guests flashed invitations and strolled inside laughing, oblivious. I walked back to my car, but I didn't leave. Instead, I called Evelyn Brooks, my accountant. "Daniel?" she answered warmly. "Shouldn't you be at the wedding?" "I'm outside the gates," I said evenly. "They've posted my picture. I'm barred." "What?" she gasped. "You paid for everything. How could they do this to you?" Leaning back in the seat, I allowed myself a dry smile. "Evelyn, I know exactly what I paid for." "Evelyn," I said, low and steady. Something in my voice made her fall silent. "Tell me, where are we on the final balances for today's vendors?" She cleared her throat before answering. "Deposits are already processed. The rest, catering, the Silvertone Ensemble, the photographer, the event hall staff, transport, all scheduled for Monday morning." "Good," I replied. My smile didn't waver. In about an hour, while they're toasting inside, they start calling every vendor. Inform them authorization has changed. No final payments will be made. Her breath caught. "Daniel, are you certain?" "Never been clearer." I watched a laughing couple flash their invitations at the gate, the cards catching the light. They had chosen to exclude me. Now they would discover the price. "I'll start at 5:15, Evelyn whispered. "Thank you," I said. "And if anyone asks why, direct them to the bride's family." At 8:45 p.m., my phone lit up. "Dad!" Lily's voice shook with panic, noise swelling behind her. I heard shouting, music cut short, someone sobbing. "Sweetheart," I said calmly from my study room, a ceramic mug of cooling Darjeeling tea beside me. "How's the celebration?" Her scream cut through. "What did you do? The caterers are leaving, the photographer packed up. Dad, please, what did you do?" I sipped my tea, unhurried. "I updated a few vendors. Payment will not be released for services rendered." "You can't do this. You're ruining everything for a petty outburst." "Outburst?" My voice turned sharp. 3 hours ago, you told me keeping me away meant fewer complications. I'm simply ensuring your day is complication-free." "You're insane," she cried. "Guests are leaving. Everyone's staring." "Fascinating," I murmured. "Why do you think they're leaving?" Because you're destroying it. This was supposed to be perfect." Her sobs tangled with words. "It was perfect," I replied, "until you decided your father didn't belong." Silence stretched, then her voice hardened. "Fine. What do you want? Money back? Is that it?" "This isn't about money." "Then what?" "I want you to tell your guests why I wasn't allowed to walk you down the aisle. Explain the entry ban list at the gate. Own your choice." The line clicked dead. Minutes late. The phone rang again. "What the hell is wrong with you?" Margaret Cole's voice was venom, every word sharpened. "Hello, Margaret. Enjoying the reception?" "Don't play games. There are 300 people here watching this family collapse, all because you couldn't accept being excluded." "Excluded," I repeated. "Is that the word we're using?" "Yes. Because no one wanted you there. Because you're corrosive. Because you twist everything. And yet I paid for the entire event," I cut in. "That doesn't give you the right to shackle us." I almost laughed. "Shackle you? I simply chose to stop financing people who erased me from my daughter's day. This was Lily's moment, her one perfect day, and you destroyed it." "No," I said, voice cold as frost. "It was destroyed when my face was stapled to that list at the gate. I'm only revealing what that decision cost." She broke into dramatic sobs I remembered too well. "You're twisted. What kind of father does this? I'm kind of tired of being treated like a wallet, the kind who won't be humiliated anymore. You'll regret this. Everyone will know what you really are. They'll know I have self-respect." And I ended the call. The next voice belonged to Thomas Gray, his tone tight. "Sir, word is there may be payment problems. We're contracted until midnight." "Thomas," I interrupted gently, "tell me, are you enjoying the event? Are they treating you well?" A pause. Then reluctantly, "Honestly, sir, it's been a mess. The bride hasn't stopped crying." "The whole place feels corrosive," Thomas Gray admitted over the phone. "Guests are whispering the bride can't stop crying." "Then pack up your instruments and leave," I told him. "But sir, our contract, void. You won't see a cent. Go home to your families, Thomas. This chaos isn't yours to carry." A pause. "Are you sure?" "Absolutely. Send me the bill for your trouble." His voice softened. "I'm sorry, Mr. Whitmore. Whatever happened here, it isn't right." When the call ended, I sat in the dim light of my study room. The phone buzzed nonstop with furious texts from relatives. I turned it face down and poured another ceramic mug of Darjeeling tea. They wanted me erased. Now they were discovering what erased meant. The pounding started at 8:45 p.m. Violent fists against wood. Expected. I set aside Seneca's letters, walked to the door, and peered through the peephole. On my porch stood Helen Miller, hair undone, cheeks streaked with ruined makeup. 2 shadows lingered behind her. I opened the door, leaning casually against the frame, making no move to welcome them. "I knew it," she spat. "I warned Lily. I said, that father of yours will ruin everything. And here we are." "Good evening, Helen," I said evenly. "How was the reception?" Her eyes blazed. "Reception? You destroyed it. You destroyed my son's wedding." "Strange," I mused, considering I wasn't even permitted through the gate. "Don't you dare act innocent," she shrieked, voice breaking. "Why couldn't you just stay home? Why do you always make it about yourself?" That familiar frosted calm settled over me. "Tell me, Helen, when have I ever made anything about me? Was it during the 4 years Lily and Jason were together? When I paid for every holiday meal, every birthday, every trip your family hosted? Or was it when you contributed nothing?" Her mouth opened, no sound emerging. "Money isn't everything," she finally snapped. "You're right. Respect matters too. Decency matters. Not being treated as a pariah at your own daughter's wedding, that matters." One of the shadows stepped forward. Rachel Miller. "Uncle Daniel," she said carefully, "please understand, Lily only wanted to avoid drama." "Drama?" I repeated. What drama would my presence cause? Was I planning to shout objections? Start fights? Or was the drama simply the risk of me walking my daughter down the aisle? Helen regained her footing, her voice shaking. "You think paying for things gives you control. That money buys people." Something sharp stirred in me, though I kept my tone steady. When was the last time I demanded anything in exchange for support? When did I ever leverage money over this family? Never. But today, after you placed my face on an entry ban list, what reaction did you expect? That I'd keep signing checks? "You're destroying them," Helen cried. "The venue's threatening lawsuits. Vendors are calling nonstop. You're ruining their lives." "No," I said quietly. "I'm refusing to enable people who humiliate me. That's not ruin. That's self-respect." Tears slid down Rachel's face. "They do love you. Lily was just scared. Scared you'd be disappointed. Scared you'd judge." "Judge?" I echoed. "Did paying for your tuition count as judgment? Or co-signing Jason's $32,000 car loan when no bank would touch him? Or handing you the $39,000 down payment for your house? Was that me taking over too?" Rachel crumbled into silence. The porch was still except for Helen's ragged breaths. "You want to know what taking over looks like?" I said finally. "It looks like excluding me from the wedding I financed. It looks like stapling my photo to a guards folder. It looks like expecting me to bankroll a family that treats me like a stranger." I began closing the door, but Helen Miller shoved forward. "Wait, please. We can fix this. Don't let pride destroy everything." I met her eyes through the narrow gap. "Helen, my pride isn't destroying this family. It's the only piece left they haven't taken." The door shut with a click. Monday morning, I woke to 17 missed calls and dozens of messages, but what grabbed me first was a chatter feed notification. At 7:47 a.m., Lily had posted, "The happiest day of my life was sabotaged by the one person meant to support me. When you can't stand not being the center of attention, you'll ruin your own daughter's wedding." Vendors walked out. Guests left in shock. But I am free. Free from emotional blackmail. Free from conditional love. Thank you to those who stayed and helped salvage what we could. You are my real family. 200 likes. Nearly 90 comments. "Emma, I'm so sorry. Some people are just corrupting presences in your life." What kind of father does that? Prayers, sweetheart. Narcissists never change. But then, buried deeper, didn't he pay for the whole wedding? If he's that awful, why take his money? This doesn't add up. And one voice, my niece Claire, "Emma, I love you. But this is not the full truth. Your father deserves better." I set my phone aside and cooked breakfast, truffle egg toast, perfected after my divorce. While whisking the truffle cream sauce, I considered the game of stories, the tale she was telling versus the one I would. By noon, more relatives called, demanding answers. By evening, the post had doubled in comments. The tide was shifting, slowly, but shifting. Truth floats. It only takes time. By Thursday morning, I was trending locally. Ashgatch, wedding drama spread on Chatterfeed. Carla Rivers, the lifestyle blogger, published When Love Comes with Strings, A Bride's Painful Day. It went viral across Fairbend. The comments section was a battlefield. This father is a narcissist. Imagine thinking paying means you own people. Emma is so brave. But cracks appeared. If he's so terrible, why let him pay for everything? My dad funded my wedding and had the honor seat. Something's off. That afternoon, Thai Line News called. The producer wanted me for the 7 p.m. broadcast. I declined. No need to rush. Let them dig deeper into their narrative first. Lily and Jason had no such restraint. By evening, they appeared on 2 segments. Tears flowed as Lily told Naomi Clark, "My father has always tried to control me. We thought one boundary would finally be respected, but love shouldn't be conditional." Jason nodded gravely. "We just want a marriage free of corrosive influences." I switched off the TV and made calls of my own. First, Peter Lawson, my attorney. "I've seen the coverage," he said. "Messy situation." "Peter, I want every record. Credit lines, loans, anything tied to the couple. I need to know if this was about more than cruelty." "I'll dig," he promised. "Have you thought about issuing a statement?" "Not yet. Let them pile the lies higher." The next call went to Thomas Gray. He sounded unsettled. "Sir, forgive me, but it's been eating at me all week. In 14 years of this work, I've never seen anything like that reception." "What do you mean?" "The way they talked about you after you left. It didn't match what I saw in planning. You were generous, professional. But once chaos hit, they spun you into a villain. The bride's mother-in-law told people you'd been threatening them for weeks, demanding control of every detail, emotionally abusing Lily." I leaned back, expression hardening. "And you know that's not true." "Yes, sir. I saw the contracts. I saw the meetings. None of it lines up." "Your name was on every contract," Thomas Gray told me, "but the approvals all came from Lily and Jason. You never dictated the choices." My grip tightened. "Thomas, if it comes to it, would you make a statement?" "Yes, sir. What they did to you wasn't right." Thursday brought another twist, this time from Diane Cole, my ex-wife's sister. Her voice shook as she called. "Daniel, I need to tell you what I saw last week." I lowered the newspaper. "I'm listening." "I was at Margaret's house on Thursday before the wedding. Lily, Jason, Helen, and her husband were there. They had loan papers spread out. Jason's been approved for a large business loan to launch some kind of financial advising firm. But the bank wanted a stronger co-signer." The lock turned in my mind. "They expected you to cave," Diane whispered. "Helen kept saying it was perfect psychology, make you feel excluded, guilty, desperate to prove love for your daughter. Then when you came crawling back, they'd hand you the loan forms. 'He'll sign anything,' she said. 'He always does when Lily cries.'" The silence in my study was crushing. Outside, children laughed in the park, their innocence cutting through the weight of betrayal. "And if you didn't break fast enough," Diane added, "there was a backup plan, power of attorney. Helen said 2 weeks, tops, before they'd move to declare you unfit. They didn't keep you out to prevent drama, Daniel. They kept you out so no one could question their story later, about your mental state and bad decisions. That night I opened a blank document. If Lily wanted to control the narrative, it was time she learned what a story looked like. My name is Daniel Whitmore. I am the father accused of destroying his daughter's wedding. You've heard Lily's version, now you'll hear mine." I listed the numbers. $134,000 spent over 4 years. Not just the $46,000 wedding, but the $39,000 house down payment, the $32,000 car loan co-signature, $17,000 in student debt payments, and countless smaller advances. Not control, love. Costly love. I wrote for hours. The printed image sheet at the gate, the calls to vendors, Diane's revelation of manipulation. Every sentence fact-checked, every word deliberate. When finished, I posted it across social net, sent it to local outlets, and emailed Carla Rivers, the Life's MS tile writer who had fueled the frenzy. By dawn, wedding drama had shifted tone. Commenters began asking harder questions. The next day, I walked into the Cityline news studio. Small room, bright lights, cameras magnifying everything. Across from me sat Naomi Clark, who had once repeated Lily's story to the world. "Mr. Whitmore," she began, "your daughter's account has gone viral. What do you want viewers to know tonight?" I placed a folder on the desk, slid out the first page. "I want them to know the truth," and I brought receipts. The camera zoomed in. "This is the wire transfer of $46,000 to the Rosewood Pavilion for venue and catering. Here, $3,800 to the Silver Tone Ensemble. Here, the $2,700 photographer deposit. Line after line, tabbed, highlighted. Every payment is tied to me." Naomi studied the evidence, her expression shifting as the narrative began to crack. "And your daughter asked you for these payments?" Naomi Clark pressed. "Not asked, begged," I replied, sliding my phone across. "Here's a message from August 12th, Lily pleading for help with the venue deposit, another on August 20th, Jason saying they were short on the band payment. Every one of these requests came from them." Naomi scanned the texts, her composure wavering. "Yet in public, they describe you as calculating and corrosive. How do you respond?" I let that frosted calm settle over me. "Naomi, look again at the dates and amounts. If I was controlling, where are the ultimatums? Where are the conditions? Find me one moment where I said, 'Do this, or I won't pay.' You won't, because it doesn't exist." I placed another folder on the table. "What you will find are 4 years of unconditional support, $134,000 worth, a $39,000 down payment on their home, a $32,000 car loan co-signature, $17,000 in student debt relief, even grocery money when they were between paychecks. No strings, no threats. Just Lee. Novo." Naomi leaned forward reading the highlighted vendor emails, her brows shot up. "They removed your name from the contracts." "Exactly. They stripped me out of my own commitments while still cashing my payments, even told vendors I wasn't involved anymore. Until the morning I found my printed image sheet taped at the gate, labeling me an intruder at the wedding I'd funded." She put down the papers, looking straight into the lens. "For our viewers, this is Daniel Whitmore, father of the bride at the now infamous Rosewood Pavilion wedding. His daughter claims exclusion was for emotional safety. He claims it was about control, but not his." I leaned back, my voice steady. "Imagine pouring yourself into your child's future, never once demanding repayment, only to be barred from the very moment you built. What would that tell you? To them, I wasn't family. I was a wallet. And when I realized it, I made one choice. If I'm excluded from the celebration, I won't fund the celebration. That isn't revenge, it's self-respect." The segment aired at 7:00 p.m. By 9 o'clock, my bell rang like an alarm. Through the entry lamp I saw them, Lily, Jason, Helen, Margaret, even Jason's father, huddled on my porch like exiles. I opened the door but left them outside. "Dad, please, we need to talk." Lily's voice cracked, her eyes swollen. The others fidgeted, shame painted on their faces. "How did the interview go?" I asked lightly. "Please," she begged, "let us in. We can fix this. I'll delete the posts, I'll apologize, I'll tell everyone it was a misunderstanding." "A misunderstanding," I repeated, voice flat. "Then answer one question. Who put my photograph at the gate?" Silence. Then Jason shifted forward, pale. "I did. I printed it." I nodded once. "And the loan applications? The co-signer they needed? Whose idea?" Lily's face was drained of color. Dad, we were going to explain. After the wedding, once you were happy, grateful, easier to convince. I looked at each of them slowly, at Helen's hollow stare, at Margaret's downcast eyes, at Jason sweating through his suit. You wanted me broken, I said quietly, shackled by humiliation, desperate to buy my way back into Lily's life. Then I'd sign anything. For her future, of course. I stepped back, leaving them on the porch. But here's the truth. You don't get my signature. You don't get my money. And after what you've done, you don't get me. The door shut, sealing the silence behind it. Helen's voice cracked, stripped of its usual polish. Daniel, you have to believe me. We never meant for it to spiral like this. It was supposed to be strategy. Strategy? I echoed, letting the word hang bitter in the air. Walk me through it, Helen. Step 1. Publicly disgrace the man paying for your son's wedding. Step 2. Wait for him to crawl back. Broken. Step 3. Leverage his guilt into a signature on a loan. Is that about right? Her lips trembled. It wasn't supposed to go that far. Lily's sobs drowned her out. Dad, you were supposed to call me, to beg me to explain. Then Jason could tell you about the business loan, and you would have signed. It was for us, for your grandchildren's future. Jason's company could have supported us for decades, but the bank wanted collateral, and you were the only one who what? My voice cut in, sharp as glass. Who loves you enough to be used? Who's foolish enough to scribble his name on debt papers while drowning in humiliation? She clutched Jason's sleeve, gasping between words. Please, Dad, we're ruined. The bank yanked its offer after the media storm. The vendors are threatening lawsuits. Even Helen's mortgage company is calling her about risk. Everything's collapsing. Stop. My tone was quiet, but it sliced through her panic. She lifted her face, wet, broken, and for a heartbeat, I saw the little girl who once sought my arms after nightmares. Lily, I said gently. The man who would have fixed this for you. The man who solved every storm with one phone call and a checkbook. He died last Friday morning when he saw his own face taped to a gate under the words, "Do not allow entry." Dad, no. The man standing here now understands something. Love without respect isn't love, it's a transaction. And I'm finished trading. I eased the door shut, but Jason lunged forward, desperation stripping him of pride. Tell me what you want. Money back? An apology? Just tell us. I studied him, sweat darkening his collar. Jason, I want nothing. That's the point. For the first time in 4 years, I expect nothing from any of you. But we're family, Lily screamed. I held her gaze. Families don't put each other's faces on entry ban lists. The family doesn't stage psychological tricks. Family doesn't confuse love with leverage. My eyes swept the group one last time. You wanted me erased. Consider it done. The door closed with a soft click, and I flicked off the entry lamp. Behind me, silence. Mine. To keep following stories like this, tap the box on the left. And if this one shook you, make sure you're subscribed. Your support keeps these real, raw stories alive.